Hi everyone, this is Danai, and today's video is going to be a little bit of a funnier video than usual. I will be talking about weird pre-performance habits that I used to have when I was younger. First of all, I want to thank every one of you that sent me get well wishes. I was ill in the last 2 days, which is why I could not upload a video on Tuesday, but I am fine now. I'm in Austria, I have a concert tonight, and I feel much better. So thank you very much for your understanding. The whole idea for this video came because I was having a conversation with a friend about strange things that we used to do pre-concert, and I think that I'm definitely not the only one that used to do this. Everyone has their own little rituals and little things that they did, and I feel like when you grow older, you understand which ones can stay and which ones are maybe just something connected to a superstition or just something that you do to do it, not necessarily because it helps you. And I thought that it would be an interesting video to talk about what I did and then also how I got out of it and what I do today. It all starts with the night before the concert. I used to always put the score of the piece, or the scores of the pieces, if it was a whole recital, that I was going to play on the next day under my cushion before I went to sleep. So I put the score under my cushion, laid on it, and slept the entire night on my scores. Because I actually don't know why I started this. Probably I saw it in a movie or I read it somewhere that some person did it and I just decided to do it. Obviously completely unnecessary, but I did it, and I did this actually up to maybe, I would say, 8 years ago. So up to the age of 22, I used to do this, and it used to be quite uncomfortable depending on the cushion. Some hotels have very thin cushions, so I would literally be sleeping on books, but I could not go to sleep if I did not do that before the concert. Another funny fact that I did pre-performance was my breakfast. So on the day of the concert, I always had to have a very specific breakfast. I always had some sort of cereal with milk and a peppermint tea. That was kind of the must for me to feel that I'm prepared for the concert. Also, no particular reason. I think the reason is that growing up, before I went to school, I always had muesli with milk. And because I was playing a lot of concerts at that age too, I kind of decided that this was my concert breakfast. So that when I started playing and being in hotels on the day of the concert, I just said to myself, I can only have the muesli, no eggs, no toast, nothing else, because I didn't used to eat that at home. So I just continued that and always had muesli the day of the concert. Another pretty weird fact is that I always used to wear a very specific bra the day of the concert. There was only one concert bra that was allowed, and that was the lucky bra, and I always put that on the day of the concert to wear in the concert. No other underwear was allowed. Same went for concert tights and concert shoes. There were very specific concert tights and concert shoes that were my lucky shoes and my lucky tights. Even when there was a hole in it because it was under my concert dress, nobody could see it, I was still very persistent and wanted to wear that because those were my lucky tights. Now, the practice before the concert was also very specific. I had certain pre-concert practice rituals. For example, I wasn't allowed to play the piece fast. I didn't want to play through it fast, only slowly, to make sure that my fingers are all in the right place. And also, I wasn't allowed to listen to other music besides the music that I will be playing in the concert on the day before. So I remember, especially when I was 20 years old, I always had an iPod, and that was back when the iPods were in, and with this click wheel, and I used to listen to all types of music, of course, not only classical music. But on a concert day, I didn't listen to anything, because in my mind I thought that my head needs to be in a clear space, no other influences, no beats, and only be focused on the music that I'm going to make on the night of the concert. And then the last kind of weird habit that I had was that shortly before going on stage, I had this kind of mantra that I would repeat to myself, or maybe to family that was there, to my sister or to my mother. Basically, the mantra was, I'm ready, I'm gonna kill it out there, I can do this. So kind of encouraging myself that I am ready and hyped up for this performance. So these were my habits and rituals of what I did the night before and the day of the concert. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about the power of rituals and whether I still find them useful or not. So I would like to say that most of these habits I do not do anymore. I think that there is a power in rituals, and definitely even if you know that the ritual itself is not important at all, like for example, putting your score under your cushion is not going to do anything for you if you think about it rationally. But if it does give you some kind of psychological security because you believe in this superstitious effect of I always did it, so I will still keep doing it, it can be good, and you're not harming anyone by putting your score under your cushion. So the power of the ritual can be positive and can be helpful because it just gives you this sort of psychological security. But I also do think that there comes a point where it is very important and also very helpful to yourself to understand which things you're in control of and which things actually help you and which things don't. Because when you understand what you can control, then you also will become more self-confident and believe in the power that you have within you already. And that power has nothing to do with all these superstitious rituals that you are doing. So I did all this, and I'm sure that in my mind there was some sort of placebo that thought, okay, I did this, so the concert is going to go well, and maybe it played a tiny part in the concert going well. And I don't want to talk badly about these types of rituals. As I said, I did it for a long time myself, and I think it's totally fine. They're not harmful, and if they help you, keep doing them. But for me personally, there came a time where I started thinking to myself, why am I doing this? And I started thinking, okay, I'm going to consciously break it and just have the mental strength to believe that obviously the concert is still going to go well because I practiced, because I am prepared, because I am a good pianist and I can play regardless of whether I will eat muesli in the morning or an omelette. And so I started consciously breaking those rituals. First, I started stopping putting the score under my cushion, and I thought, wow, I'm actually having an amazing sleep with a nice soft cushion under my head. Love that. And of course, it did not make a difference for the concert. Then I started eating whatever I wanted for breakfast on a concert day. Then I started wearing whatever I wanted on a concert day. And the only thing that I still really take care of is how I practice on the concert day, because this actually is kind of a helpful ritual. Of course, I still don't want to be playing through the piece 10 times in tempo, because I don't think that that is very helpful on a concert day. I don't completely forbid myself to play through it in tempo. Of course, I do that sometimes, but of course, I still try to play through it slowly, do some exercises to not overdo it on the concert day, because I try to kind of preserve my energy for the concert. But I try to only do the things that I consciously know will help me. Also, as far as listening to music is concerned, of course, I also listen to other music, and it is not at all the end of the world if in the taxi that's taking me to the hall, there's other music playing, or I even sometimes watch an episode of a series on the day of the concert. Whatever I feel like, all that is possible now. And to me, breaking these rituals was very empowering, because I realized that me performing well in a concert has nothing to do with some higher power of rituals or of superstitious beliefs of things that I have to do, but it has only something to do with me, with my preparation, with my abilities, with me believing in myself. And for me, breaking those habits helped me a lot and gave me so much more psychological security when I go on stage, because I now know I am in control of the situation. And I would definitely like to remind everyone that has a job that involves performing and going on stage to always remember to trust in your abilities and not in a certain ritual controlling those abilities. Nothing controls your abilities but yourself. So I hope that you enjoyed this little excursion into my former weird habits that I used to have pre-performance. Please let me know if you have any habits that you do before you go on stage, if you are a performing musician or someone who goes on stage for any reason, or if you have any rituals or superstitious beliefs that you do on important days before exams or anything like that. I think this is very interesting and also entertaining to read what people do, and also whether you have broken those like I did over time, or whether you still do them because you find that they are still very helpful to you. So let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!